Soca Dancehall is a lane though, right? Like you told me about dancehall soca versus soca dancehall.
Soca dancehall is a lane because in the the early 90s, we saw the rise of soca dancehall and dancehall soca because of it was an interesting movement that was happening, and it also tied into what was going with Byron Lee and the Dragonaires, the rise of Carnival in Jamaica, and these parallel musical movements that were happening in Trinidad and Jamaica at the same time. Because at the rise of soca dancehall here in Trinidad, we had dancehall soca in Jamaica, where there was Byron Lee's work a lot, trying to blend in a lot of what was the music of Trinidad and Tobago, that driving force, which is the fuel of a lot of what Carnival is, the soca music and the calypso, because, Byron Lee loves calypso and soca, finding a way to bring that into a Jamaican space, because it also ended up being part of the fuel of Carnival, because Jamaica culture, the rhythms, the movements are different. So how do we give this Carnival that sound? How do we give it a sound? And of course, we had a younger generation that was coming to the forefront. We had Generation X at this point was coming to the forefront of music. So as Generation X was coming in, they had to define their own sound. And we had this blurring of the lines between Trinidad and Jamaica. Because before, you knew what soca calypso sounded like. There's no such thing as a traditional calypso song or traditional soca song, because they've always evolved. Especially soca has always been rapidly evolving, because soca in the 80s sounds almost nothing like soca in the 70s. It just shifted. And then, of course, soca in the 90s took a new form, because we had a new generation coming up, and they like dancehall, and they like reggae, and they liked all of these different sounds. They like hip hop. They like all of these different things. So they started to bring that into the music. And that's what happened in Trinidad. So when Jamaica, we saw soca pouring into dancehall. And that was part of the rise of Carnival in Jamaica. In Trinidad, we saw dancehall being brought into soca. And that's how we had these two different emerging genres. So soca dancehall has its own sound that is distinct, because dancehall soca at its core, when you listen to dancehall soca, dancehall is the moving. Is the moving dancehall soca, warming up, warming up. That song being the most prominent of them all, you can hear that dancehall is the focus. But when you listen to soca dancehall, on the other hand, soca is the focus, and it just bringing in a dancehall beat in certain parts. Like when you listen to Choo Choo, that she has on her first album, when you listen to that song and you get to the mock bridge, and she said,
Right.
that's when the beat comes in. A lot of what Ecstatic was doing in the 1990s, songs like Music Farm, Winer Boy, Pretty Girl, Powder Puff. When you listen to those songs, you hear where the dancehall is, but it's being brought into soca, because soca is the focus. Soca is the foundation. So it's different takes on like two sides of a coin. And that's how it works. But the thing about soca, and the reason I say it's pop leaning, is because soca can do that. When you bring soca into dancehall, it's obvious. It becomes a conversation, because somebody will say there's a dancehall song, and then they'll say, but they bring soca in it. It's weird.
Okay.
Some people consider it to be weird. Some of us are open to it, but some people consider it to be strange. They don't like the tempo.
Okay.
They don't the way the groove is gone, because the groove in soca lives in the melody. It lives in a different place. It doesn't live in the guitar the same way it is in reggae. So because of that, the groove is gone. But then when you come across the soca music and you bring dancehall in, it's normal.